last night in Boston as the Bolts collected 2 points in overtime. Tonight, Tampa Bay arrives in the city of brotherly love for a Sunday night showdown with fellow captain Claude Giroux and the Philadelphia Flyers. Next on Bally Sports. Lightning Hockey is presented by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Visit BMWTampaBay.com for exceptional offers. Welcome inside Wells Fargo Center, where the Tampa Bay Lightning have won 9 in a row against the Flyers and 5 straight in this building. Here are your starting goaltenders.
Brian Elliott's at it tonight. Game number 5, he's 2-1-1 on the season with an .887 save percentage back here in Philadelphia, where he just came from. Carter Hart, game number 15, 5-6-3, and a .919 save percentage. John Cooper against the Boston Bruins last night. Didn't play the game the way he wanted to, but they certainly got the results that they wanted to. This is game 2 of 5 straight games on the road in 8 days. And for Alain Vigneault, really struggling. 0-5-2 in the last 7. They can't score. Chasing games a lot.
Anthony Cirelli is going to take the opening faceoff against Claude Giroux. The Flyers starting Atkinson, Giroux, and Sean Couturier. They need some goals. They have really struggled to put the puck in the net. And here are the Lightning carrying the puck in over the line. That's Gabriel Fortier snapping a shot that goes off of Provorov into the corner. Fortier, the rookie, stays in the lineup. Alex Barré-Boulet is a healthy scratch tonight, with Matthew Joseph back in the lineup for Tampa Bay. Provorov shot, and Elliott makes his first save of the night. Played the last 4 seasons here in Philadelphia. Here's Fortier again, dishes off to Killorn. His shot goes weak and wide, and Karam's off the inboards. Sean Couturier sends it around into the opposite corner, and now it's settled down and behind the net by Keith Yandle. Yandle, whose Iron Man streak grows to 944 tonight. Puck is overskated by Zach McEwen. Quick shot. McEwen gets onto it behind the net. Back to the line. That shot from Braun goes wide of the Lightning goal. And it's banked out to center ice. There's Taylor Radish poking at the puck. Big moment for him last night, scoring his first NHL goal. Zach McEwen in there for the Flyers. Takes a look around. Surrounded by a couple of members of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it comes back to the point for Sealer. James Van Riemsdyk puts it back towards the net. That shot reaches the goal. Elliott with a save, and the Flyers still with a puck. Up top now, Lawton dishes off, little give and go. Van Riemsdyk tries to go upstairs, and he missed the top shelf. Now it's Konechny, puts it back to the line for Sanheim. Sanheim drops it off to Travis Konechny. His wrist shot blocked by Bogosian. And it's lifted up and out by Ross Colton.
Yeah, they needed a quick change there for sure. The Flyers with some good puck possession, got some pucks to the net. You can expect that's what they're going to do. They are under the gun. 0-5-2, can't score some goals. They want a good start.
Here comes Matthew Joseph, who's been out of the lineup the last 3 with an injury, but he's back in there tonight and raring to go, as you heard in our pregame show. Cal Foote gets back in because Eric Chernak unavailable tonight, day-to-day with a lower body injury. Stamkos puts that puck towards the net, and it's picked up now by Kevin Hayes. Hayes just his 4th game this season. He's had a slow start due to injuries. Elliott sweeps that puck away and banks it all the way out to center, and the Flyers regroup. Matthew Joseph along the sideboard. Pass up the middle to Maroon. Pat Maroon in there. Can't get a shot away as he was defended by Lindblom. And now Lindblom takes off with a puck. He'll dump it in. Forecheck heads into the corner. Puck stays there. Patrick Brown's up in the play. Here's Brown trying to shuttle that puck in front. And it's batted away by the Lightning. Braun with a drive. That hits a body in front and is picked up by Hedman. Corey Perry sends it in for the Lightning. Carter Hart sends it back around the boards. Knocked up the wall. Comes right back. And Yandle does the rest. McDonough puts the puck across to Ruda. Ruda up ahead. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, who started his NHL career here in Philadelphia. And he was a free agent signing out of the Swedish League. Cam Atkinson, his first year as a Flyer, snaps the puck in. Atkinson tripped up in behind the net. Sanheim steps up on Killorn. Fortier comes in to help out. And now it's Sanheim with the puck in the corner. Tries a shot that bounces off of Elliott. That's the fourth shot for the Flyers. Just one for the Lightning so far. Ivan Provorov, his wrist shot in front, tipped by Couturier. And Elliott had to be quick with the pad.
Killorn is doing a good job being on top of him, though. I think that went off his skate or his body.
Couturier with another shot into traffic, and it's an opposite pad save that time by Elliott. Fortier checked along the sideboards. Flyers with all kinds of pressure here. Here's Couturier with a lane up the middle. His drive deflected in front of the net, and it goes into the corner. Picked up now by Claude Giroux, the Flyer captain. He mishandled the puck, taken away by Bogosian. Lightning are really hemmed here in their own zone. Here's Sanheim. Sanheim puts it across. Atkinson keeps it deep. You've got some exhausted members of the Lightning out there on the ice right now.
Lightning are not moving their feet very well at all. Philadelphia Flyers way quicker than they are. This is shades of the first period last night in Boston.
Well, they were outshot badly. They didn't have 10 shots until the midway point in that game. But they get the win in overtime against the Bruins and start this 5-game road trip with that win. And here they are on back-to-back nights in Philly. Long pass up the ice to the defenseman Cal Foote. Foote leads it for Joseph. Joseph's doing a bump there by Zach McEwen. Here's Palat in front, and he almost connected with Stamkos.
That went under the heel of Stammer's stick, went right in between his feet and the heel of his stick. Nice little play by Palat.
Van Riemsdyk swings it across to Braun, and the Flyers organize themselves again. Nick Cedar pulls it back and dishes it back into the corner. Here comes Cedar up the left side through center ice. Steps in over the blue line and then dumps the puck in. We have not had a whistle yet, 6 minutes in. This one sent around the end boards, and Konechny gets on top of it. Sergachev gets on top of him. Batted free. Cirelli into the middle of the ice for Taylor Radish. Radish dumps that one in, and in goes Colton. Colton, whose hometown is about a half-hour drive from Wells Fargo. No doubt has more friends and family in the stands here tonight as he did a couple of weeks ago. Radish now with a lane, hangs on, fires a shot, and Hart makes the blocker save on Taylor Radish.
Glad to see that from Taylor Radish. He took a look into the middle of the ice. It wasn't anything to be had. Colton had center line drive. Take the shot. He's got a real good shot.
And we finally have a whistle here.
Pat Maroon had the best scoring chance for them. It was a line change. He came flying off the bench, and the Flyers don't pay enough attention to him. Nice pass by Matthew Joseph. He just lost it right at the very end there. Lindblom did a real good job of getting his stick in just at the last second and knocked it away. And then here's the last shift by Stamkos and Palat. You can see how close that was to being a slam dunk for Stammer again. Just in between his body and his stick there. Couldn't get the handle.
Lightning control the face-off. They won that one. This is going to be another stiff test for the face-off crew, just as it was last night in Boston. 13:26 to go in a scoreless first period in Philadelphia on Valley Sports.
Done all because Chernak is out of the lineup again. Unfortunately, right side of your screen. Oh, that was a nasty one-time shot from Pasternak, and of course, who was right there willing to block it. I'm not quite sure where he got it. It looked like it was upper body, but you could see the trouble he was in, and he didn't last the entire game. So for John Cooper, he's missing one of his prime defenders, and everything just gets a lot tighter and a lot better when Chernak is in the lineup. But you know, when somebody goes down, it's another opportunity for somebody else. So for Cal Foote, it's more ice time for him to continue on in his development as a regular on defense for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Chernak was just back in the lineup. He had missed 8 games by blocking a shot against the Carolina Hurricanes. And you're right, it's hard to tell where he got it, but the Lightning are officially saying lower body day to day. Just about 7 minutes into this scoreless first period, here come the Flyers again. They've spent a lot of time in this zone to start the game. Gabriel Fortier. First attempt does not go, then he gets it up to center ice for Cirelli. Little give and go. Now Fortier's got it. Fortier cuts to the net, cuts in, backhander. Hart the save, rebound. Hart is down, and he keeps that puck out. Cirelli was right there after a good drive. by Forte.
One of the assets that Gabriel Forte has is great speed. Nice little play through the neutral zone. He takes advantage of Ristolainen moving into the middle of the ice momentarily. Ristolainen is a big man, but he's not that active with his feet. He's got the great reach, but what a great protection of the puck right there by Forte. That was the key for him. He just kept it to the outside, didn't let the stick get to the puck, and then he knew he was inside. Came right across the front of the net, checking to see if he was going to get hammered by another defenseman coming across from the other side. I think it was Provorov, but looked like he was trying to get the goaltender Carter Hart to open up and go 5-hole, but Hart took away everything down low. But that'll be a real confidence booster for Gabriel Forte, who in a couple of games that he's played, Dave, each game he's gotten just hammered once, either in open ice or along the wall. So he definitely has proven that he can take a hit, and he pops right back up and gets right back into play.
Now the meantime here, they're taking a look to see if that puck did cross the line. That's Brian Pakmara and Bo Halkitis on the headsets. What do you see, Brian?
Yeah, here's Killorn coming in after the fact. Can't see from there. Yeah, you can't see it at all.
After video review, the call on the ice is confirmed. The puck never crossed the goal line. There's no goal.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. And certainly it was, you couldn't see the call on the ice was no goal. So there's no proof you couldn't see it under all those pads. But it was worth taking a look. But it started with that good drive by Forte. Keep using your speed like that, I'm sure, is what Jeff Halpern is saying to him.
He's coaching him up right after that chance, and we're sending you right back out there. Keep doing that. So Stamkos comes in to take this draw against Scott Laughton to the right of Carter Hart.
It's another tough team, back-to-back nights. First the Boston Bruins and then Philadelphia, who have some guys who have got some serious skill in the face-off circle.
Well, number 1 and 2 in the NHL. You had Bergeron last night, who was a monster in the face-off circle, and Claude Giroux tonight. He's not up there right now. This is Zach McEwen, and that one's cleaned up easily by Joseph. There's a shot and a save made by Hart. Sent down the ice. Van Riemsdyk's going to get there first for the Flyers. Here's a guy who really needs to get it going. Just 2 goals for JVR so far. Zach McEwen puts it back to the point for Braun. Braun waiting for it. No lane to shoot, so he dishes off. McEwen with a drive. In there on Elliott, and he's got it, and he covers up the rebound.
Brian Elliott, of course, came from the Philadelphia Flyers, 4 years here. He had 130 games played for them. He had 65 wins, so exactly 50% winning percentage. And the last 3 of those 4 years, Carter Hart was with him. They played together, Carter Hart, in those 3 years. His winning percentage was 48%. So they had some Flyers teams that were good, had some talent, were just kind of middle of the pack, and they had their nights certainly too, where it seemed like they were left all alone back there.
Here's Kevin Hayes, the guy who had abdominal surgery in September, didn't play until the season had started, came back for 2 games and then went right back on the injured list. And he's got the puck, dishes into the corner. Backside play there for Konechny, and they almost connected. There's a shot saved by Elliott. Sealer on the rebound, backs it towards the net. Morgan Frost leaves it for Konechny. Up to the point for Sealer, back to Frost. Flyers working into the corner now. Yandel taking his time. Snaps a shot from the corner that rises up and into the netting for the whistle.
Flyers use the width of the ice really well, and it was Mikhail Sergachev who saved the goal. Watching the left side of the screen. Sergachev, meanwhile, is the one who turns the puck over. He'll make up for it. Watch him in front of the net as the pass comes across. He makes sure he goes to his man, Konechny, in front of the net, and he got a piece of it. You could see that Brian Elliott was well out of the net on the far side, anticipating a shot from that bad angle. And if it wasn't for Sergachev, it would have been a slam dunk for Konechny.
Offensive zone draw, so out comes the Couturier, Giroux, Atkinson line, and they've got the puck inside the blue line again. Provorov can't hold the point with Joseph bothering him, and he finds McDonough on the backside. Ryan McDonough walks in, leaves it for Stamkos. His shot, save, rebound, scores! Ryan McDonough taps home the loose change in front, and the Lightning open the scoring tonight in Philadelphia.
This is the way you draw it up on the board. You have the weak side defenseman flying out of your zone. You get a pass from the winger because you joined the rush and there's time and room. You drop it to the big scorer and then you go on to the net. Stamkos just gets it short side, a shot that Carter Hart can't quite handle. Smart shot by Stammer. He could have gone far side on the glove, try to beat him clean. Maybe it goes high wide and it's a nothing play. But he gets it up high, the goaltender fights it off, and McDonough doesn't do a flyby. He's ready for some kind of rebound, and he gets to it before Carter Hart does, and the Lightning are on the board.
Second goal of the season for Ryan McDonough, and the Lightning score first again here on the road. Last time they were in this building about 2.5 weeks ago, they were down 2-0 after one period, came all the way back to take a 3-2 lead. And Giroux tied it very late, and we had that wild overtime. Let's see what we get here tonight. With the Flyers in a hole, the midway point of this first, and the Lightning back inside the blue line. Down along the end boards there, that's Belmar pinning his man Connor Butterman. Perry's in there as well. They're trying to jar that puck free. And finally it comes loose. Maroon banks it back to the point for Jan Ruda. Ruda's wrist shot just sails past the net. Back to the line again. Pulled off the boards there by McDonough. He'll give it up, get it back. There's the shot, and that just missed. Rebound. They score again. Corey Perry tucks it home, and it's 2-0 Tampa Bay.
Similar idea here, and a smart play by McDonough, who just scored on a rebound. But when you watch him out at the blue line, yes, he has to get it through, but watch McDonough's head will be up all the way. He sees that Corey Perry's on that side of the ice eventually. He's behind the net, and the rebound comes off the end wall, and Corey Perry just loses himself behind the net. That's what goal scorers do. In traffic, they just kind of disappear. You see that? He disappeared, reappeared on the other side. The timing was perfect. McDonough had taken a peek to see where he was going, and the rebound is fortuitous, and Corey Perry is really getting on a roll nowadays.
Just recently had that 5-game point streak, and that is now 4 goals for Perry. Just about halfway to the total of 9 that he had last season as a member of the Montreal Canadiens. And you're right, it's getting hot. And the Lightning have a 2-goal lead. Forche can't contain, and it comes back outside the blue line. And you can hear the fans already getting restless in this building.
Yeah, the natives are restless, that's for sure. They had a very good start. The first 4 or 5 minutes of this game was all Philadelphia Flyers, and they peppered a lot of shots at Brian Elliott, who came up big with them. But Corey Perry comes through now with a little extra breathing room, and the Lightning are really starting to get their game going. It's always important for the goaltender too, especially the backup, Brian Elliott, to get some good saves and get a feel for the game early on. He's got a real good feel for it. He's made some good saves already.
Yep, he certainly put them into position to get these 2 quick goals here in the first 10 minutes. Puck is dumped in. Stamkos, who's got an assist on the McDonough goal. He's up on the play. So's Joseph. Joseph's also got a helper. Just back in the lineup. Sealer back into the corner. This one's picked up by Konechny. And Konechny swings this one across. It'll give and go all the way across the rink. Dropped off now for Frost. Frost checked along the side boards there. He was just called up from the American League. A young forward they have high hopes for here in Philadelphia. Only played 2 games all of last season due to a shoulder injury. Straight up the middle comes their captain, Claude Giroux, picking his way in, dishes off to Couturier, try to sweep it in front, and that's broken up by Sergachev. Kachuk along the side boards, had it taken away, centering pass for Couturier, puts it back to the line. Atkinson leaves it for Provorov. Provorov to the net, and Elliott has got it and hangs on with all kinds of action going on right in front of him. 9:05 to go in the first period. The Lightning have scored twice and lead 2-0 on Bally Sports. Player profile.
Brian Elliott's been around a long time. He knew what he was in for coming in to be a backup for Andrei Vasilevsky. Here's who Brian Elliott is. Championship with Wisconsin, first win back with Ottawa in 07. played at 6 different organizations. He has been a starter. He's won a lot of games, but he knows at this point in his career, wants to play on a good team. He knows he's going to play only every couple of weeks, and that's tough. It's concentration, it's preparation, it's using practice like a game in order to be ready, and he's ready for that.
Atkinson with a shot, and Elliott's got that and hangs on. This is Elliott's second consecutive start against one of his old teams.
That face-off win and shot was shades of how Claude Giroux scored the big goal last time these two teams played. Winning draws cleanly, gives them those opportunities. And again, that's Couturier in the face-off circle who's good. This time the Lightning control it.
Yeah, puck was pulled back and Cologne just jumped right on top of it. Bounces around at center. Gets away from Stamkos, and now the Flyers step into the zone. Got away from Atkinson, and it's lifted back out. 2-0 Tampa Bay. Ryan McDonagh with a goal and an assist. Here's Couturier now in the corner. He's checked by McDonagh. Helped out now by Bogosian. Put up the boards for Provorov. Puts it across. There's the slap shot, and a glove save made again by Elliott on the slapper from Keith Yandle.
Yeah, he's seeing the puck really well. He has had some really good coverage immediately on his doorstep, and that's always important. But Philadelphia is just going to be shooting pucks from everywhere. See the boxing out job that McDonagh did? Nice job there. Make sure that your goaltender can see it. No shots unless they hit something and take some kind of weird, strange bounce or dip. The goaltender's going to save those every time.
Fourth line on the ice for the Flyers. The Belmar line out there for John Cooper. And this one's dumped into the far corner. Back to get it is Braun. Braun left it in the corner. Maroon was there. In comes Perry. One of the goal scorers tonight for the Lightning. Here's Victor Hedman. Walks the line. Slap shot. A rocket goes just wide. Up the boards again. Belmar is there. Back into the corner for Maroon. Puts it down low. That's Perry. Perry behind the net. Dishes off to Hedman. His quick shot is blocked. And swung back around. Patrick Brown for the Flyers is able to clear with a little help there from Lindblom. But the Lightning step right back in with under 8 minutes to go here in the first. Braun. Angled back by Belmar, and now out comes Yandle. Yandle up ahead to Van Riemsdyk. And he'll snap that one in along the dashers into the corner for Stamkos. Stamkos, who has unbelievable career numbers against the Flyers. And he adds to it tonight with an assist. And he's got the puck.
They're starting to really get their game going now. The goals certainly have given them a lot of confidence, but the puck movement and the moving their feet is much quicker. All the way around, they're starting to take it to the Flyers more consistently now.
No doubt about it. The first 5 minutes, we didn't even have a whistle for about 6, and Philly had a lot of the puck possession. Not now. Here's a chance in front, and it just gets away from Palat. Andre Palat lost the handle. Zach McEwen lost the handle himself, and it's dumped back in by Palat.
Nice job by Foote standing up even before the center red line, just nullifying that attempt by the Flyers to come out of their zone and get something going on the rush. Well done by Foote. He's starting to follow along what the rest of them do, like McDonagh and Victor Hedman in particular, that defend way up the ice.
Jumping on that puck, straight in the middle as Frost tries to split the D. Rebound, and it's shot just wide by Konechny. On a good burst of speed by Frost, and Konechny following up. Dumped back in by the Lightning. Ristolainen takes the hit there from Colton, who, by the way, is now the team leader in hits. Bogosian sends this one around and behind the net. Cutting back is Ristolainen, who leads the Flyers in hits, which is not a surprise. Philly steps in. Kevin Hayes now drops it off. Provorov shot. That's blocked. And the rebound to the line. Not out. Yandle. His pass across. Not a good one. Pulls everybody out.
Tkachuk did a heck of a job there defending on that and blocking that shot as their defenseman Provorov was getting a chance to walk into a dangerous spot.
And he can hammer it. Alex Killorn in the corner sends this one around the boards. Jan Rutta steps up to try to hold it there. It's chipped past him, and back to retrieve it Here's Anthony Cirelli. Cirelli with a 3-game point streak coming into action tonight. Here's Killorn. Drops it off for Cirelli. Back into the corner. Killorn's up there. Can't get it across. Was trying to spy Fortier there. And the Flyers have the puck again. From deep in his own zone, Justin Braun plays it up. Little move there at his own blue line, and onto the backhand goes Giroux. Edmund from his knees there, and that is going to be blown down at the Tampa Bay blue line, and we will step aside with just under 5 minutes to go here on this Sunday night in Philadelphia. 2-0 Lightning.
Montreal, Vancouver, New York Rangers, and now Philadelphia. Now that they're 0-5-2 and they're in 7th place in their division, there's some rumblings here, and the fans are getting restless, and he handles it very well. He just knows that they have to get going for sure. They're 16 points back of Washington in the division, but they do have 4 games in hand. So there's some room to at least move up and get some momentum going, something they haven't been able to do. But he hasn't shied away from the questions that inevitably come when coaches are in this kind of position, because he has handled it so many times in all these big markets he's coached in before.
And the Flyers send it back inside the Lightning blue line. Back to the point for Sanheim. And it's taken over by Matthew Joseph. Joseph strong in the backhand, puts it all the way across. Takes it back off the boards, cuts into the middle, and he almost got himself into a great shooting position. Cal Foote had stepped up. Palat came back to support him on the point, and it comes back out to center for Foote. Sergachev and Foote back and forth. Cal Foote, who did not play the last 2 games, with Chernak coming back into the lineup. He comes right back in with Chernak going out. And John Cooper likes that. He does not like to scratch Foote. He likes what he's bringing right now in his game.
Yeah, he wants to try and create some momentum, and especially on defense. It's a lot about confidence. It's about reads, which means it's experience. You can talk all you want. You can look at video all you want. You have to feel it and decipher it for yourself all the time and figure out how you get the job done.
Here they come again, a feed across, trying to find Brown in the slot, and that didn't connect. Connor Bunneman is up there, and it goes to the opposite corner for Ryan McDonough. And this one drifts all the way down the ice, and this will be an icing call against Tampa Bay. So one other thought about Alain Vigneault, you mentioned how much he's seen, and he's got over 700 wins, and well, one thing he says he has never seen is 5 games in 7 nights, which is what the Flyers are looking at starting this evening. And you talk about they're already struggling. That is a crazy schedule.
Yeah, it is. And it's Tampa tonight, tough. Colorado, New Jersey, and then at New Jersey, at Vegas, at Arizona. So they got a lot of ground to cover on top of everything else.
And now a word from Suncoast Credit Union.
My friends told me about Suncoast Credit Union and how they offer the lowest loan rates around. I applied from their mobile banking app. Who knew that buying a new car could be so easy?
They just have to get some guys going. Atkinson, 1 goal in 16. Couturier, no goals in 11. JVR, 1 goal in 15. Konechny, 1 goal in 12. That pretty much tells you what the coach is up against, too. You can try and tell guys in where to go to, how to pass the puck, how to make some plays, but they have to do it.
Lighting on the puck into the slot. Try to find Stamkos, and he was checked. Well, to your point, Brian, over the last 16 games, Philadelphia is averaging well below 2 goals a night. And they need at least 3 now this evening. Here they come in over the line. That's Scott Laughton. Laughton snaps a shot. They bat it around. McEwen back to Van Riemsdyk. Van Riemsdyk centers the puck, and it was in behind the intended target. Laughton, who was right there in front. Sanheim to Scott Laughton. Makes one little move around Cirelli. Makes a pass to the backside for Travis Konechny. Here's Cal Foote. Foote who banks one up ahead, and this one goes down the ice, and that is another icing call against the Bolts. Here's tonight's Discover matchup.
it gets to be crazy games when these two teams play against each other here in this building. But the Lightning have a big-time upper hand. Look at the goals for. Power plays pretty even there. And the hits, yeah, they like to run at each other all right. They've created a pretty decent rivalry, but then we've seen some really entertaining hockey in this building where it just goes end to end.
Claude Giroux at the point, wrist shot, and that, I think, glanced off of Couturier up high. Went down as if it did.
A little chin music there.
Yeah. As Giroux just snapped a wrist shot in towards the net.
I think Couturier is standing there, go 4 by 6.
There's a shot that hits the side of the net. That was Ristolainen. The former Buffalo Sabre just got the good shot away and missed. He pulls this one down and steps back in over the line, dumps the puck in. Colton took a run on him there. Here's a shot, and that one catches Elliott up by surprise and stays out. Back the other way come the Lightning. In over the line, it's dropped off for Radish. His shot is blocked. Nice little rush up the ice there for Tkachuk as he dropped it off to Taylor Radish. Tkachuk out in front trying to find Radish, and the puck just bounced on him, and Sanheim took it away. Kevin Hayes back to Sanheim, and great work there defensively by Hedman. Final minute, first period. Flyers pushing again, but that shot is deflected up and into the netting.
Brian Elliott made a couple of really good saves. The first one did go off the side of the net. I wondered if he had kind of speared it with the end of his glove at one point. That one, yeah, that hit the outside of the webbing. Hard to tell on that look whether he actually deflected it a little bit, and then he made another good save on a shot off the left wing where I don't think he even saw it, Dave, you're right, but it just shows his positioning was really good. He was in the right place, he was squared up to where the action was, and when surprise shots come, they have a good chance of hitting you even if you don't move, and I think that's what happened to him on that next save, and that's a really good sign for Brian Elliott, that he's reading the plays and he's in good position.
Pat Maroon jumps onto the puck and banks off the boards and in, but he was on the wrong side of center. And Maroon hates that icing call, but they are going to call it icing. And he's going to give it to the linesman all the way back down the ice.
He's always giving it to somebody.
Well, stay tuned for your local Honda dealer's first intermission report. Here is what's coming up. PK, Paul Kennedy, and Adam Hall are standing by in the studio. They will have an interview with Ryan McDonough and highlights and stats coming your way as well. At center, Provorov finds the open man connecting, goes across to Frost. Frost checked by Ruda, so he'll swing it back around, waiting for it is Ristolainen. Provorov with a wrister, knocked down in front, picked up by Belmar. Corey Perry. He's got the second goal tonight for Tampa Bay, his fourth of the season. Belmar. Maroon trying to get it back to the line, and this one banks out to center. Back up to Bogosian. Chips it back in, moved along by Maroon. Ristolainen just sends it along the boards. And we are going to hit the horn here with the Lightning enjoying a 2-goal lead here on the road in game number 2 of their 5-game road trip. On goals by Ryan McDonough and Corey Perry. Here in Philadelphia, the Wells Fargo Center. Third and final meeting between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Philadelphia Flyers, and it's off to a pretty good start for Lightning fans indeed. 2-0. Paul Kennedy and Adam Hall are coming up next on Bally Sports. Downtown Philadelphia, with the Lightning have a 2-0 lead over the Flyers after 20 minutes of play. Dave Randor back with you alongside Brian Englund. So 2-0 lead on the road. This is game 2 of the long road trip, and this is off to a good start. And they can thank their goalie tonight.
Yeah, the game didn't go very well last night, and this is the second game of back-to-back nights. So you're thinking, are you going to get any help for your backup goaltender who, like on every team, gets to play every couple of weeks? Well, it wasn't great early on, the support that is. But Brian Elliott was really good. 14 shots on goal, and a lot of them were in the first 5 minutes. And he was very good. He read the plays well. He moved well in the crease. He was very calm. He had that look and that feel about him. Made a couple of really tough saves. So I think his confidence level is really good right now, and that's a great thing. And in a situation like this, the team started to turn it around, and certainly in the second half of that first period, they really took it back to the Flyers, and of course they scored the 2 goals, which gives him a little bit of breathing room. So it's an important game. I think it's, psychologically for him coming back to Philadelphia here, where he came from recently, that he starts off well, and you can check that box off right now.
Here are tonight's first period key stats, brought to you by Ford.
Yeah, 14 shots for the Flyers. The Lightning started to come back. Face-off, Lightning doing a real good job there. That's good to see against this Flyers team that can be really tough. The hits pretty even. Block shots also. So Lightning would like to continue on here with some good puck possession. They had room through the neutral zone. The Flyers, it seemed to be, backed off their blue line a fair amount. And when the Lightning get a team like that, they usually can start to go and make some pretty good plays offensively.
So here we go, second period. The Lightning coming in on a 2-game win streak. Points in 3 straight. Points in 15 of their last 17 games. This one's drifted all the way down the ice. Hedman in a race there with Atkinson. Got a little help from Elliott, who came out and batted it away. Now Stamkos jumps on the loose puck and dishes off to Palat. Palat into the line, kicks it back to Joseph. Joseph tripped up a little bit there, was looking for a call. And the Flyers step back inside the line. Here's Atkinson, back across, and Van Riemsdyk couldn't finish on the back door.
That was Jan Rutta again with a great stick.
Joseph leaves it for Stamkos. Steven Stamkos in behind the net, all the way around the edge to McDonough. Palat had it at his feet there. Forte comes in, and it's chopped away. Picked up now by Travis Sanheim. Sanheim to Atkinson, and he'll lift it in on the backhand. What a chance for the Flyers there to make this a 1-goal game in the first minute of the second. Back out at center, moved across to Sanheim. And it's dumped in. Out comes Elliott. He'll leave it for Bogosian. Picks it up and swirls out. Takes off. He's up to center. He'll bang it off the boards. This one rolls all the way in. In past Carter Hart. Forte was up in the play, bats it back into the corner for Cirelli. Cirelli to foot, his one-timer, didn't get all of that. And that one goes into the corner. Morgan Frost. He'll put that one off the sideboards, and it's dumped in by Sealer. Steered aside by Elliott, now picked up by Foot. Cal Foot's pass. Up ahead to Belmar. Belmar takes the puck wide into the corner, looks back to the line. Sergachev, 2 foot. There's that hard slap shot that Foot's got. We see it every once in a while. They got a good piece of that one, and Hart makes the save.
He's got a really hard, heavy shot, and he got that one on target. Here's the Flyers rush, first of all, and sorted out well by the Lightning. Watch Jan Rutta go to the net. He understood what was coming back at him, and he took a goal away from JVR. And there's the last shot by Cal Foot.
Remember his first goal last season? That slap shot?
Yeah, a one-timer. It looked like a Steven Stamkos shot from the left face-off circle.
Swung around the boards where it's held by Foot, and Foot dumps it right back in. And his Bunneman in front of his own net, and he'll lift that one back out for the Flyers. Just inside the line, Lindblom has stood up, separated from the puck, and Maroon kicks it back. Here's Belmar. Belmar intercepted at center ice by Braun. Rister, long range, handled by Elliott, and he decides to hold on for the faceoff.
We talked about Jan Rutta in the pregame, and one of the reasons is because of the plays that we just saw. He figures things out. He sees what's coming at him, and he makes some terrific plays right at the paint. Rutta is one of those guys that, over the course of time, he just is able to, deflect plays that just don't show up on the score sheet. But overall, when you're playing with Victor Hedman, you have to have a good eye for the game. You have to have a good brain for the game to understand what's coming at you, because I've said many times, Victor is not your orthodox kind of player. He's super talented, and he kind of gets free rein to do whatever he wants. Well, not everything turns out great all the time, so you got to be able to sort it out and cover him up, and Jan Rutta can do that really well.
Giroux back behind the net, trying to bang a pass back to Provorov, but that one gets away, and Hart is forced to handle that. Here's Atkinson again. Sharp pass across, missed Giroux on the bank again. Hedman steps up, and here he goes. In over the line, drops it off. Radish with a shot, scores! What a shot by Taylor Radish! And it's goals in back-to-back games for the rookie, and it's 3-0 Lightning.
We've been waiting for this young man to break out, and maybe it's starting to happen right now after a gorgeous goal, his first ever in the National Hockey League last night. This one's just as good. It just is a totally different flavor. I've been saying all along that he has a tremendous shot. He's got a great wrist shot and a great slap shot. How about that one? That's the one I've been waiting to see. He has got a shot that just jumps off its blade. He's got a real lively stick blade, and he's got great hands. And you can see that look on his face. He's starting to get the scent now.
Last night he scores short-handed. Tonight he scores with that beautiful laser to the top shelf. And it's a 3-goal lead for the Lightning. And this is about as quiet as you're going to hear it in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Which is perfect if you're the road team. James Van Riemsdyk at center, dishes off to Zach McEwen. McEwen trying to contain that puck, and he is checked to the end of the play by Joseph. This one just rolls away from Stamkos and down. Hedman and Colton get the assists on the goal by Radish. So Hedman picks up another assist. He's been piling up the points, and Colton gets a point here in front of friends and family, and what's kind of a home game for him.
Just so good to see young guys like that really start to get confidence and get full of themselves. That shot by Radish, playing with Ross Colton in the middle of the ice, and Tkachuk, who has had his scoring chances as well. Maybe he's next on the list to score a goal or two. He's more likely to be the type, Tkachuk is, that is going to be right around the paint and score from close in. But that shot that we just saw from Radish, that's the kind of shot where I've compared him to Corey Perry before. He has similar body language to me, and he has similar ability to handle the puck and certainly shoot the puck with the same kind of velocity and look that Corey Perry has.
Here's Cologne on his backhand, and he shovels that one wide. Picked up in transition, back the other way comes Frost. Frost dumps it off, Provorov back to Frost, and the pass was just in behind him. Kevin Hayes now turns the puck over, and then they get it right back. Nice play by Frost. Wrists the line and resets across the ice to Provorov. Dumped in there, and Elliott will leave it behind the net for Ruda. Ruda waits for things to set up in front of him, and here he comes out from behind the net. Pass to the middle. Curling back is Corey Perry, and they'll try this again. Belmar, he's the last man back, swings up the ice and dumps it in. Hart knocks it back into the corner for the Flyers. Up at center ice, Patrick Brown is checked, and it's swept back in by Bunneman.
There's another good play there by Cal Foote, who was right up by the blue line, jamming again and stopping the rush.
Belmar takes over from there. You can really see that Philadelphia sagged after that third goal, haven't they?
Yeah, the confidence level's right down again. They know how much trouble they've had scoring goals. Now down by 3. Boy, it looks like a huge mountain.
This one goes all the way around. Rink-wide pass picked up and moved quickly up the ice. It's Sanheim cutting in, trying to dish it back. He was in and passed off instead. Traps it at the blue line. No, there's a shot on Elliott. A good snapshot up high, and Elliott had to fight that one off. Now it's Giroux back to the point for Braun. His wrister blocked right in front of him by Tkachuk. Atkinson jumps on the loose puck, try to center it. Sergachev defended him. It stays back there. Belmar got tangled up just enough with Atkinson. This one's held to the line. Top line for the Flyers, trying to make something happen here. Here's Braun. Back up top, Giroux with a shot and a save made by Elliott. On his former teammate, the Flyer captain, who goes to the bench empty-handed again. Taylor Radish with a bullet makes it 3-0 in Philly tonight on Valley Sports.
Up on the play and making himself available. There's the cross-ice pass. But there's the confidence level of Radish. He's shooting right away. And watch this. Why does it go in? It's 92 miles an hour. And it's right up under the bar, right inside the goalpost. I mean, he got all of that one. You start shooting in the 90s all the time, well, compare it to baseball. Pitchers who can throw heat at 90, 95 miles an hour, you know what that means. There are some guys who can shoot at 100 miles an hour or more, and maybe this young man can somewhere along the line. But 92 miles an hour right up under the bar. You say for Carter Hart, the goaltender, hey, I'll give you that one, man. You hit the spot.
Kachuk lost his footing, turns the puck over to Zach McEwen, and then the Lightning get it right back. Kachuk banks it up ahead. Here comes Radish again. Radish, who, as Brian says, is feeling it right now, swept out in front and to the line and out. Radish was a big scorer in junior for the Erie Otters. Played in 2 World Juniors for Canada. Here's Hedman, cuts into the middle, his shot, saved by Hart, rebound, and Boris Kachuk has his first NHL goal. Finds the loose puck and taps it in, and Bo is on the board.
Congratulations to him now, too. This line continues to just heat up. And John Cooper, sensing that they got something going, puts them right back out there again. And good for Bo Kachuk. We've been talking about him being an Andre Palat kind of player, at least I have. He's a really good two-way player. He's physical. He's very conscientious like Palat is. And he's going to score his goals from around the paint. And he gets a free one here. But he was in good position all the way along. And how about that? Watch his body language after this, too. Like, finally, has he had some chances since the start of the season? Yeah, you bet. So now he gets that monkey off of his back, too. And the confidence level continues to grow for the line.
And it's 4-0. Now connecting his shot. Snapped it high over the glove side on Elliott. Connecting out of the corner. Delayed penalty call coming up against the Lightning. And the call is made. It is going to be a holding call against Zach Bogosian.
Tampa Bay penalty number 24. 2 minutes for holding.
Philadelphia trying to come back with some pressure and action around the net. Bogosian trying to get his coverage and make sure his man doesn't get away from him. But he gets the stick wrapped around one side. Yeah, boy, that was, he even dropped it, I think, to try and nullify getting a holding penalty. You get caught with your stick reaching around one side and the player you're checking moves into the stick, boy, you're in big trouble already, and he gets the 2 minutes.
So first power play of the night. Yandel dishes off. There's the hard slapper from Giroux, and that's blocked. Giroux with a puck. Up top to Yandel. Back to Claude Giroux. Giroux in front, and Elliott makes that save.
Sergachev's in big trouble.
Yeah, he's feeling it after blocking a shot from Claude Giroux. Yandel. Hayes, a swing and a miss. Cologne with a chance to clear, and he does. Now you talk about the offensive woes of the Flyers. It only gets worse with their power play. 31st in the NHL, 12%, no power play goals in their last 5 games. And that one rolls away from Hayes, and back down it goes.
Well, I think a big part of their issue offensively is that, yes, their power play hasn't been able to score. So now it's to the point where it sucks the life out of the team. You have to change your body language and just go about your business. You can't let it drain the rest of your game. And I think the Flyers are stuck in that sort of sequence where the power play just, you know, it's more than a shrug of the shoulders. It's, oh no, not again.
Cleared again, that one by Belmar down the ice. Hart's going to come on and play this one away from Joseph. Joseph with the empty net. He scores! What a disaster for Carter Hart and the Flyers. A shorthanded goal for Matthew Joseph. It's 5-0, and the Boo Birds are out in Philly tonight.
And so's Carter Hart. He's going to be out. He's had some bad luck too, and he's had some misplays, and this one certainly is definitely on him. Joseph does a real good job, and he's on his backhand. Hart got a little piece of it, but still not enough. You have to be decisive for sure, and when things go bad, boy, they go bad. You know what? That might even have missed on the short side. Carter Hart, I think, got a toe on it and actually kicked it more in line, so it did go in the net. And Alain Vigneault definitely took that as a sign, and Martin Jones is going to come in and replace him.
So in comes Martin Jones, his first year in Philadelphia. It was a free agent signing. He's on a one-year deal for a couple $1 million. And, you know, both goaltenders, he and Hart, were both off to good starts until everything is kind of unraveled in front of them as an entire team. And Jones' numbers have taken a hit as well.
And so now, yeah, even on a short-handed goal, to me, put salt in a wound. Are you kidding? And the fans now are really going to be all over him. And the most thankless part of playing for the Flyers right now is being on the power play.
So there is still 15 seconds to go in the power play, as they've allowed a shorthanded goal, 3 goals against in this second period. And this has also been a problem for the Flyers. Their second periods this season. And this one has been about as bad as any. Great for the Lightning. Here's Provorov. Bogosian steps out of the box. There's a slap shot. Rebound, and Konecny can't find it as McDonough was right there. In the corner, Konecny trying to cut away from Sergachev with that big shot block as that power play started. And he appears to be all right. Ristolainen on the puck. Flips it across, and he just had that pass hop over the stick there. Lindblom turns and fires a shot into a crowd, and it's poked into the corner. Chipped out by Cirelli. And Braun touches it, but there is a penalty call. Now it's going to be a slashing call that is made, and it's going to be a Lightning power play.
Philadelphia penalty, number 23, 2-man slashing.
Oscar Lindblom is going to go for slashing. So on top of giving up a short-handed goal, get your goaltender pulled and you're down 5-zip. Now the Lightning's power play, who is now, let's see, 14th overall, 19%. Good number. They've been pretty consistent over the last couple of weeks. And a goal now would be absolutely excruciating for the Flyers and have the Lightning just sailing downhill all the way.
Yeah, the Lightning went 0 for 2 last night against the Bruins. Colton, who's got a couple of assists in this period, lost that draw there to Claude Giroux, and this one's cleared down the ice by Philly.
9 minutes, 55 seconds.
Just hit the midway mark of this second period. And out with the puck comes Ryan McDonough. McDonough up ahead to Hedman. He'll tip it into the zone. Provorov gets there first, up the boards for Lawton, and back down it goes. Elliott to Victor Hedman. Near side, this is McDonough. He'll go to the backhand and chip that one in. Ryan McDonough, who scored the first goal tonight back in the first period. He's got 2 points as well.
And McDonough's not usually on the power play, so John Cooper realizing it's 5-0, and so you're going to try some things. And I think also there's that thing of, you know, sort of not rubbing it in, but using this opportunity to maybe get some offense for some other guys, including Ryan McDonough, a guy that is killing penalties for you all the time, doing thankless jobs for you all the time, blocking shots and really giving his body up a lot of the time. Give him some power play time, which he doesn't usually get. So we got a little bit of it to start that one.
Couturier now holds on to the puck, snaps a high wrist shot that goes over the Lightning net. This power play is going nowhere, as the Lightning were in full command, up by 5 goals here, just past the midway point of regulation.
Well, the thing now, whether it's on the power play or 5-on-5, but particularly here, like, just don't get so sloppy that you're going to start giving up chances shorthanded and undo what Brian Elliott has been doing for you in goal.
That puck was turned over by Sergachev. He was trying to find Stamkos on the fly on that right side. Lindblom is on his feet and is about to step out of the box. And Tampa Bay will go 0 for 1 with the man advantage here tonight. Lindblom's out. Team's back to 5-on-5. Hedman trying to center the puck. Can't get it through Provorov. This one comes to the point. Slap pass by Ruda is knocked down, and here comes Kevin Hayes. Hayes centers it across, and that was deflected away from the intended target. That was Morgan Frost headed for the net.
And it was Killorn just hightailing it back. Jan Ruda made a bad pass, made up for it by hustling back, but he got big help from Killorn.
McEwen with a shot, saved by Elliott. Across the slot to the near boards. Ooh, heavy hit there. McEwen slamming Colton. Zach McEwen causing all kinds of problems on this shift, number 17. We've seen him do that in the other meetings against the Lightning. Here's Van Riemsdyk in towards the net with McEwen right in the crease.
Yeah, Lightning have to be careful because you might see more of McEwen and guys like him, because in the old days here in these buildings in Philly, once it was 5-0, boy, you knew what was going to happen. They play a rough, tough game and challenge you, like dare you to score again on you. It hasn't been like that over the last generation plus here for the Flyers. But when you get down like that, this crowd, I think still, and talking to some other people, they still kind of miss those days. So be interesting to see how the Philadelphia Flyers react here.
6:43 to go in the second period, and congratulations, Boris Kachuk. First NHL goal. It is 5-0 Tampa Bay.
And it was interesting to watch on the 3-on-3 in overtime. Look at the flat-out breakaway. He's skating at 24 miles an hour to get back to Pastrnak to prevent him from scoring. Then has the presence of mind to turn around and whip it all the way back up the ice to Stammer. Stammer with the 79-mile-an-hour heads-up slap shot. Top shelf right up under the bar. That is some terrific stuff. The defensive plays of Sergachev often go unnoticed except by the staff. His offense, he really thrives on it. And boy, he made some heads-up plays last night. That speed, was he hightailing it to get back on Pastrnak? I think it really surprised Pastrnak that he was able to catch him there. And it was a big reason why he just really ran out of racetrack, and Vasi was able to jam him at the last second. Pastrnak could have ended it for them, and instead it ends it for the Lightning.
Yeah, rolls away from Pastrnak, and Sergachev, as you point out, has the presence to make that play up the ice. For a very memorable moment for Lightning fans last night in Boston. Here it's a different story. Not nearly as close as it was last night. A 5-goal lead. Lightning scored 7 goals in a game earlier this season in a wild one in Detroit.
And just think back to the first 5 minutes of the game, Dave, and all the shots on goal that the Flyers had, and some of them some really good looks. This one looks like it's offside, and Brian Elliott makes some saves that now you look at it and go, 5-0, and the Flyers obviously haven't done anything. Well, it's not completely true, because had he let in 1 or maybe 2 of those early on and give the Flyers a little bit of life trying to dig themselves out of this hole, it's a totally different game. That's where your goaltender gives you the chance to get your game unraveled and get started. And for the Lightning, that was big after really, from start to finish, very mediocre at best performance, but at least a win against Boston last night.
Atkinson trying to center it, and a penalty call coming up here against Jan Ruda as he hooked the captain who was on his way to the Lightning net, and Ruda is going to the box, and we are going to break. 5:29 to go in the second. 5-0 Bolts.
2 minutes for Hockey.
The guy, that's Jan Ruda in the penalty box. Let's take a look around the league and see what's happening in different places. Look at the points leader, Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, almost at 2 points per game clip. 43 points already for McDavid. Ovechkin having another great year, and then Nazem Kadri, Kaprizov surprises there, and Draisaitl again. 21 goals already, 20 for Alexander Ovechkin. The 17th straight year for Ovechkin with 20 or more goals. Just brilliant stuff. This is a tough league, boy, and some great talent in it.
And this power play starts with a clear by Steven Stamkos. Down the ice it goes. 20 seconds into the minor against Jan Ruda. Second power play of the game for the Flyers. They surrender that shorthanded goal by Joseph earlier in this period. Second shorthander they've given up this season, and there was almost a chance there for Cirelli. Cam Atkinson will leave it for Claude Giroux. Giroux is actually closing in on Bobby Clark for most power play points in franchise history. He only needs 3 to pass him. I think he would just as soon just get a goal here. And here he's got the puck, dishes off to Frost. Frost, backdoor. Oh, they couldn't get the shot away. Elliott came across, and Atkinson couldn't finish. Morgan Frost puts it up top. Giroux waits, fires a shot, fans on it, and it ends up with McDonough and then down the ice. Keith Yandel back to get it. The veteran defenseman. No points in his last 18 games for a guy who's supposed to bring offense. Centered out in front, and it gets through Belmar. Connecting through the middle of the ice to Hayes. Kevin Hayes in the backhand. Dumps that one in for Konecny. Sends it around. Ristolainen dumps it back where it came from. And Hedman bangs it down the ice.
This is where I'm talking about. You can tell the body language of the players. They're just uncertain. Don't feel good when they get the puck. I'm not sure some of them even want to have the puck right now because it just seems to be going in the wrong direction every time they get it. It's tough playing on a power play when things are going as badly as they are for the Flyers right now.
Well, that one is over. So they are 0 for 2 with a shorthanded goal against. There's another save by Elliott and the clear down the ice. And this is going to be an icing call against Tampa Bay. Well, your Tampa Bay area BMW centers want to remind you to tune into Bally Sports Tuesday night as the Lightning travel to Montreal to face the Canadiens. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Lightning Live pregame. Tuesday, it's the Bolts and the Habs right here on Bally Sports. Always exciting for you to go back there.
Yeah, it is.
Reminder of all those days of your Stanley Cup glory years with that dynasty. Here's a puck that's batted in off the line and out. No goal. It got in behind Elliott and it was knocked away right at the last second. Watton onto the backhand, can't get it deep. So Elliott keeps the clean sheet thanks to Bogosian, who fires a shot and that just goes wide. Back through center, it's Lawton again. Into the line, lost the handle on the puck as they are going to review this. And you know what? Actually, it's probably a goal.
Yeah.
When you hear the horn, that means they've looked at it and it's a goal.
Yeah, I was pretty sure it was in. From my angle up here, it looked like I saw white paint on the other side of it. Bogosian did the best he could, but it was bouncing, kind of popped up in the air behind Brian Elliott. Oh, but that's a high stick. Now, is that above the shoulders? There's Bogosian fishing it out. It was over the line, but the next thing will be, yeah, it's well over the line. But that looked, first look, it looked like a high stick, that a Lawton, I believe. So the Lightning could have a chance to challenge this if it was a stick above the height of the crossbar. Let's see, well above there. To me, it looked like it was above the height of the crossbar. That angle, it's hard to tell. Initially, it certainly is. I don't think it dropped enough from its initial height. I think it's a high stick.
Well, that you can't. The coach can't challenge a high stick. That's not a challengeable issue. But they are still taking a long look at it in the situation room. And it's funny, that overhead angle is kind of on a. It's shot from it's not right along the goal line, so it's from a different angle. And maybe that's why they're still trying to determine whether or not it actually was over. It certainly looked as though it was. I agree with you, partner. But if you consider where the camera is situated, maybe that's why this is taking so long. Two referees still with the headsets on. I agree with you, though. The high stick is a separate issue. And, of course, the call on the ice was no goal. And it looks like we are going to get a verdict here pretty soon. Or not. You know, it's... The high stick thing is something they would consider here, but you can't challenge it. Can they review it as part of this process?
After review, it was determined that the puck was high sticked before it entered the net, where we have no goal.
So they did look at that as part of the review, and whether or not it was over the line, it doesn't matter because you caught it. It was a high stick.
Yeah, Elliott could feel the initial save that he made, but then lost it for a second. But then there's Lawton who gets a stick on it. And yeah, that one shows it probably is as good as it can. So it's overturned. The Lightning still have a clean sheet when it comes to goals against.
And Alain Vigneault's looking down the ice as if I cannot get a break here.
Yeah, that's good.
It would just like a goal or two just to try to get some kind of traction on something that is really unraveling here quickly in Philadelphia. Discussion as to where to drop the puck, and now they're going back over to the timer's bench. And the entire crew's over there, and the headset's going back on. What do you think's going on right now?
Not sure.
It probably has a timing issue, but that wouldn't require everybody over there. How much time to put back on the clock? I'm assuming that's simply what it is. And the play did go up the ice when the horn went. And they're not adjusting the clock here as of yet, but I'm sure that's what's probably happening at this point.
Bogosian did his darndest and reacted well. He got there as quickly as he can, but it looked like the puck was definitely over the line. John Cooper's trying to find out what they're talking about right now, too. You can see he said the word time.
After video review, the puck was high-sticked into the net. Therefore, we're putting the time back on the clock at the time at which the play should have been stopped. So there's no goal.
There you go. You're right.
Yeah, usually they're told what the time was when they finished the first part of the review, so they had to go back, I guess, double check it. But bottom line is, time's back on the clock, and the face-off is outside the blue line, and we're back playing hockey again. Flyers are actually out-shooting the Lightning tonight, 21-17. Scoreboard tells a very different story. Lightning game 2 of a 5-game road trip, longest trip of the season so far. This will be their second longest trip of the entire season. They got a 6-gamer in March. Takes them out west in Canada. In over the blue line. This is Lawton on his backhand. Curls back looking for help. Nobody at the point. And he's being forced back by Stamkos. Eventually lost possession of the puck. Steven Stamkos, who last night won the game with an overtime winner and simultaneously tied Martin St. Louis for most overtime goals in franchise history and most game winner goals with the same strike.
And did it in less time.
In 109 fewer games. There's a save made by Elliott. And there it is. Steven Stamkos ties Martin St. Louis with 64 game winners, and the key one there is the games that took him compared to the great Martin St. Louis, who was a mentor to him.
Yeah, sure was.
Ristolainen puts it across to Sealer. Sealer slaps it up ahead to Brown. Under 2 minutes to go in this second period that has seen the Lightning really explode here and take command. Brown stripped of the puck by Kachuk. Radish is back up there, goes into the corner. Brown throws it across the middle of the ice, and this one rolls back out to center. Into the middle of the ice for Hedman. And he'll snap that puck in, stopped behind the net by Martin Jones. Up ahead to the blue line. Knocked down by Alex Killorn. He gets it to Cirelli. Killorn, forecheck, wrist shot right on. And Jones has got that, and there is no rebound. Stay tuned for your local Honda dealer second intermission report, and here is what's coming up. Paul Kennedy and Adam Hall are standing by in the studio, and they're going to have an interview with the guy who got his first NHL goal tonight, Boris Katchouk. They will have highlights and stats and take you around the NHL as well on this Sunday night. Just over a minute remaining here in the second period. Bellemare settles in to take the drop against Claude Giroux. And the second best faceoff man percentage-wise in the league wins that one. Bogosian across to McDonough. Braun settles it down. And here's Giroux. Atkinson onto the backhand, try to get it deep and cannot. Backing up is Claude Giroux. Giroux swings around and heads up the right side. Tripped up a bit, no call, sends it in. Perry on his man in the corner. Bogosian's down low. Atkinson kicks it back line. Provorov with a drive, and that hits Bellemare hard. And Bellemare is limping on one leg back towards the Lightning bench.
Yeah, he can't even move that right leg. That was nasty.
Lifted up and out. Maroon settles things down, and the horn goes here in Philadelphia. And a definite smattering of boos from the fans in attendance as Bellemare makes his way down the tunnel in discomfort after that shot block. But they will feel good about a 5-goal lead through 40 minutes here in Philadelphia, the Wells Fargo Center, including a goal by Boris Katchouk right there. Paul Kennedy and Adam Hall are coming up in the second intermission on Valley Sports. At downtown Philadelphia on a chilly night, and it is hot in here for the Lightning. They are up 5-0 through 40 minutes of play. Dave Randorf back with you alongside Brian Engblom. So the story that's developing over the last 48 hours is the play of the two rookies, Taylor Raddysh and Boris Katchouk tonight.
We must have gone a dozen games where we kept saying, boy, they're close. Boy, they're it's coming. They're creating stuff. They're getting to the net. They've had their chances. It just hasn't gone in yet. Well, it's finally starting to go in. Go back to last night against the Boston Bruins. This was just an outstanding goal to score as your first ever goal in the NHL. Look at that for nice, cool, calm, great moves by Taylor Raddysh. Congratulations on that one. That really got him going. And it carried through to tonight, that's for sure, because watch this shot. That's a confident guy now, 92 miles an hour. He ripped that one top shelf right under the bar, a beauty. And then for Bo Katchouk, who'd had opportunities similar to that around the paint and couldn't get it to go, John Cooper with some encouraging words and gets a smile and a chuckle out of the three line mates, and he says, I'm going to get you right back out there again, and they will get their share of ice time tonight and going forward on this road trip. Onward and upward for Raddysh and Katchouk.
And that was tonight's Papa John's key ingredients. For Taylor Raddysh and Boris Katchouk. 4 members of the Lightning have 2-point games as well. Joseph's got a goal and assist, so does McDonough. Hedman has his 5th multi-point game. And Ross Colton, with a couple of assists, has his first career multi-point game.
+4 so far for Jan Rutta.
Yeah, it's all adding up. Just as the score would lead you to believe, it is all Lightning here. And again, we think back to the first 5 or 6 minutes when Philadelphia had a very good start, and Brian Elliott made some very good saves early. And it's all been better since. Flyers with the puck, moved across to Provorov. His wrist shot off the shin pads of Joseph. Philadelphia has Colorado in here tomorrow night. As mentioned, they've got 5 games in 7 nights, including this evening.
And that'll be another nightmare night for them because Colorado's team can just fly. And as we know, they have some super skill. It'll be at breakneck speed, and they're trying to still break out of this slump. So, you know, pretty much I would think their conversation in between periods is it's almost like when it gets this bad, Dave, don't think, just play. When things are going really well, it's as if you don't even have to think about what's going on out there. And when things are going this bad for the Flyers, It's don't think, just play. Use your instincts. You know what you've been taught. You know what the systems are. Just go out, go hard, and try to get something going. And for the Lightning, don't get sloppy. And that's what they'll be thinking about. Keep pressing forward.
Cirelli takes the puck wide, puts it towards the net, steered aside there by Jones, who tracks it all the way. Killorn puts it back to the line for Cal Foote. Foote's res shot reaches the net, and Jones has got that, and there's no rebound.
Cal Foote with another shot on net. He's got a really good wrist shot, and just picking his way through. That's a good shot. I mean, he made sure it wasn't getting blocked in the first layer. That's your first job as a defenseman. That guy comes out at you, whoever it is, make sure you don't hit those shin pads, but got it all the way to the net. Keep doing that.
Radish with a shot from the corner, goes in, gets his own rebound, rolls away from him, and Philly takes over from there. And that is going to be sent down the ice for an icing call against the Flyers. Well, it's December and Santa's Scout is a Lightning fan. Enter code FAST at checkout at TampaBaySports.com today only and save $10 off this Elf on the Shelf. Available while supplies last. Online only.
I expect those will be kind of the game that where Cal Foote will get some extra ice time too, and that's great. So it'll improve his reads again. Just the consistency. He's been in and out of the lineup over the course of the season, rather. And this would be a good game for him to pile up some minutes and get his feel for the game more entrenched as well.
And Cal Foote steps up there on Van Riemsdyk, supported by Radish. Back into the corner for Colton. Colton steps around Braun, centers it out in front. Radish with a backhand. Jones is down, and he's got it. But Tanner Radish looking for his second goal of the night.
Boy, nice little move by Ross Colton coming out of the corner. Some really quick feet here. Watch this. Nice move. Fake like he's going to go into the middle of the ice. Pull it back. Justin Braun, who's been around the block. He's been in the NHL a long time. Gets completely fooled by Ross Colton. And Colton just dishes it into the middle of the ice. Can't quite get the back of the net. The good work by Colton.
And that's followed up by the Belmar line. Corey Perry, toe drag, and he just couldn't get a shot away. First move worked. Perry's got a goal tonight as well, his fourth. And Maroon deflects that one and then gets the pass back. He'll start up and then he's cut off in the neutral zone. He'll reset. Backside to Foote. Cal Foote puts it across to Sergachev. That pass up ahead to Perry, banked away from him, and Lindblom takes over, steps inside the Lightning blue line. Patrick Brown, wrist shot, long range, and that is easy pickings for Brian Elliott.
I like how Brian Elliott has played in this game. You know, we talked about that first 5 or 6 minutes where the Flyers were throwing the kitchen sink at him. He had a lot of tough saves. But I like to compare it to maybe a game or so, especially his first game of the year, where it felt like he was kind of overplaying a lot of shots. He was moving wider than the net is. He's been really compact his last 2 games out, and including this game here tonight, carrying that forward, staying within the blue paint, looking really calm, not overplaying or over-moving on shots, and because of that, he's been in position all the time.
Stamkos into the corner for Joseph. Puts that one around, rolled through Palat. Rasmus Ristolainen. Up the wall, trapped by Ruda, who's on the backhand. Bounces to Stamkos, and now Palat keeps it moving. Around the edge, here's Hedman. Jarred away there by Frost and sent right back in by Jan Ruda. 3 minutes into the third period here in Philadelphia. Montreal, Toronto, and Ottawa are the next 3 stops on this 5-game road trip. That game in Toronto on Thursday night promises to be a beauty. 2 of the top teams in the Atlantic Division.
Oh yeah, they've been smoking hot really since the start of the season, but certainly for the last month, they have just been screaming right along. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that game in Toronto.
Yeah. Yandel puts it across. Both Toronto and Tampa trying to keep pace with the Florida Panthers. You talk about hot. Here's Bogosian, 1 touch to Forte, in front trying to find Cirelli. And it got through him. Puck battling behind Martin Jones. Puck squirts free, and it's picked up by Braun. Braun banks this one off the boards and down, and that is going to be icing against Philadelphia.
And this 5-game road trip, 4 of the games are against teams in your own division. And it's always important to keep moving along. And John Cooper's words are keep munching points. And they've been doing that. See, Toronto's ahead of them, but the 2 games in hand by the Lightning, got 1 game in hand on Florida. They just don't want to, have those 2 teams pull away from them too much. Stay right in there. And so when you have your head-to-head games like the Lightning do with Toronto coming up in a few days, it'll be a big one to perhaps close the gap even more.
The Panthers are idle tonight. Toronto is in Winnipeg. That game's just getting underway now as we speak. And they're going to redo this face-off here. The Lightning also come in tonight as one of the top road teams in the NHL. 6-2-2, and in terms of points percentage, 3rd best in the league.
Well, you know what John Cooper was saying in between periods too is like, hey, let's work on our game. Positioning, doing the right things, getting the puck deep at the right time, good line changes, all those things.
McEwen now, saucer pass, and right in front, heading for the net, there was Lawton, and he couldn't tip it home.
That was great back check by Kachuk.
Here's Sanheim with a shot, and Elliott trying to track that puck, dives out and he covers up and hangs on.
Little extracurricular activity here. That's good. You got to keep that feisty edge there. You know that there's going to be frustration from the Flyers, but you got to protect your goaltender. Foot comes across, does a good job of challenging, but look at Kachuk. That is an outstanding play. And you know what? That's going to get a clap from the coaching staff as much as his first goal will, because that saved the goal. Doesn't show up. That is beautiful. Perfect. Lawton had a chance there going to the net. I'm not sure he knew that Kachuk was coming that hard, but boy, talk about the perfectly timed lift of the stick. That's the great stuff, especially when you're ahead 5-0 in a game, to keep focused like that.
Boy, the guys on the bench really had to work hard to get him to smile after he scored his first NHL goal.
Maroon will work on that.
Oh, yeah. That's for sure. Keith Yandel, slap pass, trying to go across the gray there, trying to find Braun, who was stepping in from the point. And here is Braun. Wrister. Knocked down by Hedman. Keith Yandel again puts it towards the net. That's blocked. Bounces past Stamkos. Another shot and a save made by Elliott again. And again, no rebound to be found around Brian Elliott.
Yeah, that was another real good, clean save with traffic around him. He's been very precise in his movements there. I like that. And he has just swallowed plays up. Stammer tried to play that bouncing puck. But good job. He could see, Elliott that is, he could see that all the traffic was swinging back towards them. And they were looking for a rebound. They would have had it popped out. That was Patrick Brown, yeah, right there on the doorstep. But nice job of just swallowing that one up.
Faceoff coming up to his left. Lawton will take it for the Flyers. Belmar for the Lightning. Belmar, who comes into the night with the best faceoff percentage on the Tampa Bay roster. All pretty close. He and Stamkos and Ross Colton. This one's pulled back into the corner. To the point, Yandel lows, fires in. Elliott got a piece of that one, and it goes up and over his shoulder and in behind the net. Puck comes free for Hedman. Belmar, Corey Perry. Perry all the way around the edge, kicks it back into the corner for his line mates. Pat Maroon. Belmar's up with the play as well. In comes Perry. And Lawton's trying to hang on to it, puts it to open ice on the far side. Now here's Perry, turns, makes a move, cuts in front, Maroon scores! Great play by Corey Perry, finished by the big ring, and it is 6-0.
Beautiful puck movement and execution here. Be patient, move the puck around. You know exactly where your line mates are going. Victor Hedman also contributes in a big way too. Beautiful little move as Hedman came down the wall and made a little back pass to Corey Perry, because Corey Perry had come up in support in the middle of the ice. Here's where Victor Hedman's going to come in. See that? With a guy on his back, he knew exactly where Corey Perry was going to be. that really made the play. And then the little toe drag and the beautiful pass, and Maroon just had to hit it in between the two red posts. All the way around there. Really good execution. Solid.
6 goals by the Lightning, 1 off their season single game high. We mentioned they had a 7-goal night in Detroit. I think, what was that, their 2nd game of the season?
Yeah.
And there's Maroon with goal. Yeah, that was certainly a wild night. There's Maroon with his 5th of the season, Brian, and with that goal, he surpasses his entire goal total of all of last year in 55 games.
That Detroit game, that reminds me, gave us a good chuckle a few days later when Andre Vasilevsky, he didn't feel like he played very well in that game. He said, well, it was 7-6, I think that one. He said, well, both teams played without goalies.
Well, they were down by 3 goals at one point in that game.
I know, but it's the sense of humor of Vasilevsky that's just so dry sometimes. It catches you by surprise. I thought that was funny when he said it.
Puck is sent down the ice, and it's going to be picked up by Provorov. It is all Tampa Bay here tonight in Philadelphia. And remember, Tampa Bay came into this game with a 9-game win streak against the Flyers. 9 in a row. 5 in a row in this building, and here they come again. Cirelli trying to find Fortier as they try to get that rookie his first NHL goal.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was trying to do. Oh, here we go. Foot.
In behind the net, gloves come off. And everybody piles in there. That was Foot and Konechny, the 2 initial combatants. Now Sanheim is wrestling in behind the play with Cirelli.
Yeah, Foot didn't like it that he felt Konechny's leg came out and kicked out the feet of his goaltender, Brian Elliott. Brian Elliott went down. So Foot was the first one to drop the mitts against Konechny. And then now this is continuing with Sanheim trying to get in the face of Cirelli. Real nice. Yeah, Cirelli's got a badly broken nose, which is why he's wearing that visor. So I'm sure that's Cirelli going, hey, we don't get to play you anymore this year, but I'd gladly love to get back at you and maybe drop the mitts with you when I don't have a busted nose. You can still see the swelling on his nose.
We'll sort this all out and tell you about it when we come back. It's 6-0 in Philadelphia.
Alert Foot is there because he sees Giroux's going to come flying in. Killorn's getting some help, but Giroux got a flying punch thrown in, and then everybody, Sanheim in the background there, wrestling away with Cirelli. And poor Cirelli with, again, still healing the broken nose. He's still got to wear that for at least a couple of weeks. And Sanheim taking a couple of extra punches there. Cirelli has no problem fighting. We've seen that before. The game that he got his nose broken was not in a fight. It was a redirected puck that came up and just smashed his nose. So if anybody has ever had an injured nose and then got hit on it again, oh my goodness, that is some awful pain. You don't want to have it hit again.
So it is a power play after all that. They gave an extra 2 minutes to Cal Foot. And the Philadelphia Flyers and their struggling power play gets one more chance here to get on the board. And they step in over the line. Couturier into the corner for Morgan Frost. Frost cuts back, looks to the point, and gets it to Yandel. Yandel moves it over to Claude Giroux. Giroux steps in, saucers one in there, and scores. And the Flyers get one.
I don't know if Cam Atkinson is going to get this or if it went right from Giroux stick right in. They're not overly celebrating. Naturally, they're down by several goals. But Giroux, who normally is on the left side, so they're showing different looks here, saucers this one in. That was Cam Atkinson, I believe, backing his way in. We'll see who ends up getting credit. He just kind of feathers this one in. I thought Atkinson had got it. Yeah, and the way his stick went up, I thought maybe it was Atkinson. We'll see what the final thing is, but it just sneaked by. Maybe it was just a wave of the stick, and the original shot went in from Giroux. Nonetheless, they do finally get a power play goal.
And the shutout bid ends for Brian Elliott here against his former team. 4 seasons as a member of the Flyers. He had 6 shutouts with Philly. He was probably really, and his mates were hoping to get one here tonight, but that is gone. Power play goal for the Flyers, and it's 6-1.
Flyers goal, scored by number 89.
And they are giving it to Atkinson. It was unlikely that little soft saucer shot by Giroux was going to get through. It had to be tipped. And you were right picking it off there. It was Atkinson with a tip.
7 minutes, 4 seconds.
And the Flyers get one back. Boris Tkachuk digs it out to Hedman, who has 3 assists now on the night. Here's Van Riemsdyk, steps in over the blue line. Puts it towards the net, never got there. Cycled back, but right there is Hedman. Hedman cuts back, pokes it to Ruda. And Jan Ruda starts out. Lead pass up ahead to Radish. Radish throws it across. Andre Palat. He's cut off there by Ristolainen. Sent to the open side here from Matthew Joseph, who's got a short-handed goal tonight. Bogosian with a drive, and Jones has got that.
Let's go back to the breakout before the Lightning got down in the offensive zone. Watch Tkachuk along the wall. He's going to come all the way around here. He's under pressure. Now what does he do? A nice little backhand bunt pass in front of his own net, but right to Victor Hedman. Coaches are going to love that. The maturation process for Tkachuk, all aspects of the game, that shows he pays attention. Nice little play there.
In front is Joseph, and he sweeps one just wide. Off the far post. Stamkos out of the corner. Walks out, throws it back to the near point for Bogosian. Banks one off the end boards, and it's picked off and read by Provorov. Provorov with a long stretch pass up to the blue line. He got the pass he wanted up to Lindblom, and Lindblom took his time getting it in. Here's Connor Bunnaman into the corner now. Sharp angle shot that caught the outside of the post from Patrick Brown. Lifted up and down the ice. And icing is the call against the Lightning.
Flyers from the blue line in, take the shot. I think might have gone off the post on the short side. Now Elliott was in pretty good position. Not a lot to look at on that one. A couple of players get reprieved out of the penalty box. Cirelli is out. Konechny is out. Sanheim is out. Foot still in.
Jean Couturier settles in to take this draw, pulls it back. Atkinson jumps onto the puck and gets it back to Yandel. Yandel, slap pass, trying to find a tip in front from Frost. And it's cleared up and out. Mikhail Sergachev fires the puck in, slowed up. Back here by Jones. Yandel now. Can clear it, knocked back in by Killorn. Colton up high, finds Sergachev. His wrist shot whistles just wide. Forte surrounded by a couple of members of the Flyers. Puck comes up in the air. Picked up by Killorn. He is checked, and the Flyers cleared to center. Jan Ruda battling for the puck there with Frost. Then he gets some help from Belmar. And backing up is Hedman. Victor Hedman. Man, he's just continuing to pile up the points. Now points in 10 of his last 12 games. Keeping the pressure on the top. Scoring defenseman up at the very top. He came in tied for second in points amongst defensemen in the league. Here's Maroon in the corner. Maroon sweeps one out in front. That's knocked down by Sealer. Carey. Off the boards to Belmar. Belmar to Hedman. Fires a shot that goes wide. Travis Konechny trying to pick up some pace. He'll dump this one in, going after it against Victor Hedman. Bogosian comes in, digs it out. And Perry gets it back out to center. It's taken over by Provorov. Ivan Provorov sitting on 2 goals right now, 8 points. This guy had a 17-goal season 3 years ago. Here looking for that offense again from that defenseman.
It's been tough to get any offense from their D-men. I mean, that's been one of the issues that they've had this year is the coordination between the D and the forwards when it comes to the offense. And the group of D that are out there for the Lightning as compared to the group for Philadelphia, the Lightning D-men of 54 points and the Flyers of 28. So double for the Lightning group. Big difference.
Oh, here's a turnover for Brown. Brown cuts in, and he is immediately caught by Radish. Flyers still with the puck inside the line. Yano fires a shot that off the skates of Ruda. 8.5 to go in the third period. Back towards the net. Banked up in the air. Another wrist shot redirected. Elliott's battling for that puck, and it rolls in behind the goal. Ryan McDonough working down low. Boris Kachuk with a one-toucher to Colton, out to center ice, and now Lindblom back the other way. Oscar Lindblom pulls up in front, tipped, kick, saved by Elliott. Right on the doorstep there was Brown. Radish cuts across the middle, lost the handle of the puck, rolls it on Jones, and he will hold on to it. So the Flyers get one on the power play, and it's scored on the tip right here by Cam Atkinson. The Lightning still in charge, big time.
Amongst them. We talked a lot about the young guys. He's not exactly an old pro yet. Matthew Joseph with a goal and assist. Corey Perry, goal and assist. McDonough, Hedman, 3 assists. And Ross Colton with a couple of assists as well. So nice stories offensively for all of those guys and for the entire team. Second game of the 5-game road trip.
Yeah,
good start.
Yeah, you saw Hedman on the bench there. So he's got 5 multi-point games, and 2 of them have come in the last 3. 3-pointer tonight, and remember that big 3-point effort he had in the third period a couple of games ago at home against the Blues. Penalty call coming up here against the Flyers, and the Lightning are going to get a power play after this holding call against Philly.
Yeah, it's a kind of a silly penalty for Sealer. Corner.
Philadelphia, number 24, 2 minutes for holding.
Forche's on the forecheck, and Sealer just kind of spins him around for no particular reason. Watch the free hand of him, grabs him around the side of the head, and helicopters him into the boards. Not hard for the referee to pick up on that one.
Just the second power play opportunity of the night for the Lightning. Went over last night, trying to get one here tonight. Hedman starts off with a puck, dishes off to Cirelli. Across to Andre Palat. Palat up top. Here's the slapper from Stamkos, never reached the net. And it's cleared by the Flyers.
That shot by Stammer, I got the feeling, Dave, that was more of a shot pass. Like, let's get it to the goaltender, see if some of the guys in front might end up getting a rebound goal.
Yeah, it wasn't the big back scratcher windup that we normally see from Steven Stamkos.
Yeah, scratching the ceiling with the backswing. Yeah.
Here comes Ryan McDonough. More power play time for him. Good pass up ahead to Cirelli. Cirelli trying to feed the point, and Atkinson has it instead. And Atkinson almost was open there, but the pass from Couturier never got there. Flyers do have 3 shorthanded goals this season. 1 from Atkinson. Killorn, he's high in the zone. Over a minute gone in this Tampa Bay power play. And Atkinson has the puck again. He'll just chip this one down. McDonough dumps it off to Corey Perry. Perry throws it across and then goes in after that pass that went up in the air on him. Flyers with a chance to get rid of it again, but it's held to the line by Maroon. His pass across to Colton, puts it back up top to McDonough. Sergachev feeds it down low. Perry out in front. Colton, McDonough waits, shoots, scored. Tipped to the side of the net by Corey Perry, who's got his 2nd goal of the game. And the Lightning have 7 on the board.
Ryan McDonough out there on the power play again, as I mentioned earlier, getting some power play time, which he doesn't normally get, but a great heads-up play. Excellent puck movement. Watch McDonough come down. His head's up all the way. I think it hit Corey Perry in the hand. And then it went off the pipe and all the way around. I assume, yeah, Corey Perry will get credit for this one. But look at McDonough. Hesitates, sees what's there, and you can hear the clank off the inside of the post.
7-1. You know, when a team is struggling, as the Flyers have been, they did not play since Wednesday. They had a game postponed. Supposed to be against the Islanders, but they ran into COVID problems, so they have not played since Wednesday. And you wonder what you're going to get: a very grumpy, determined bunch, or a team that just doesn't have any confidence. And we know which one we've ended up seeing here tonight. But this is a beatdown in Philadelphia here tonight.
I think we've actually seen both, Dave, to be honest with you. I mean, they said they had two great practices the last couple of days, worked on a lot of things. Did have a very good start, determined start to the game, which we talked about. The shots on goal, the time of possession, playing at a quicker pace, all of that. But then when the Lightning scored a couple of goals, completely unraveled a team that's really shaken to the core now because of this losing streak. And sometimes when you get in a long losing streak that's as bad as this one is, it takes a real whooping in a game like this to really start to turn it around.
Well, they won't have to wait long for an opportunity for that as they play tomorrow night on home ice. Here's John Rutter with a clean lane, fires a shot. That did not miss by much. As the Lightning have matched their single game season high with 7 goals, and there's still 4 minutes and change left in this one. And they're getting goals again from up and down the lineup. Perry with 2, McDonough with 1 from the back end. Tkachuk with his first NHL goal, Radish with another. That is good scoring depth. Add it all up, and it is a 6-goal lead tonight at Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. The most recent one coming right here on the side of the net from Corey Perry. 7-1 Tampa Bay.
And it is Boris Tkachuk, his first ever National Hockey League goal. He'd like 20 more of those exactly like this for the rest of the season. As he said in his interview, well, I had the easy part. I just had to knock it into the empty net off the shot from Victor Hedman. But congratulations to him. That's quite a feeling. He's worked really hard. He's also made a lot of really good heads-up plays on the breakout. You know, showing that he pays attention, knows what he's supposed to do in the little parts of the game that don't show up on the score sheet. But you don't forget your first ever National Hockey League goal.
The big concern amongst Lightning fans were how were they going to replace the Yanni Gourde line for the last couple of years with Goudreau and Coleman, and the answer is not easily, that's for sure. But Lightning fans have to be excited about what they are starting to see with Ross Colton and Boris Tkachuk and Taylor Radish right now. Patrick Brown has the puck for the Flyers, puts it back to the line for Braun. Here's Provorov, dishes off, slap shot goes high and wide. Rebound, save made by Elliott, and the rebound cleared down the ice by Sergachev. Day off tomorrow for the Lightning. They'll travel to Montreal tonight and face the Canadiens at the Bell Center on Tuesday. You talk about a team that's had its troubles and trials and tribulations. They've got a new general manager, or I guess, what do they call him? Jeff Gordon? He's the director of hockey operations. There's a new system there, but bottom line is they've made a big change at the top in the front office for the Canadiens.
Yeah, and he said he's going to take his time bringing in a new GM. So it might take a couple of weeks yet.
Elliott settles that puck down. Long pass up the ice, intended for Stamkos, never got there, and it's dumped back in by the Flyers. Not very many fans have remained here, and the ones who have are just here to boo. This is not a fun place to lose, no matter what sport you're talking. Fans gonna be tough here, and they are not pleased.
That's the way it should be. I mean, there should be pressure. It does. It makes you work that much harder. Nobody wants to hear this, and I fully believe in that. I think there should always be pressure from fans when things aren't working out. You don't get paid to play, you get paid to win in the NHL.
Forche, his shot partially blocked there on the way in by Justin Braun rather. This one's poked past Ruda. He's going to hustle back and take that one away from Sean Couturier. Flyers started their season 7-3-2, but they are about to go winless in 8. Whereas the Lightning, on the other hand, it's the other end of the spectrum, as they are about to win their 3rd in a row. And here is the road ahead, brought to you by Toyota.
Well, as you mentioned, on the plane right after this, head up to Montreal. Stay there for a couple of days, off to Toronto. It's a game we talked about. That's going to be a fun matchup to watch that one, and finish off the road trip on next Saturday afternoon, a 1 o'clock start against Ottawa.
Puck is pulled back off the drop. Sanheim with a shot. There's a block there by Kachuk. Another drive, and then goes over the net on Elliott. He hugs that post, makes one more save. Still battling down there. Wraparound attempt. And the puck rolls right to Kachuk. Off the boards as we are into the final minutes. Mercifully for the Philadelphia Flyers, as they need to regroup for tomorrow night, whereas the Lightning will enjoy this one. What a start to this 5-game road trip. An overtime thriller last night, and then they roast tonight in Philadelphia.
It is a bit of a shame that for Brian Elliott that he didn't end up getting the shutout. And that deflected puck there from so close in wasn't, much he could do on that one. But as well as he played, especially early in the game when he had to, it would have been nice for him to get the shutout. But the win is the bottom line for him, and they're winning this one going away.
One more save made by Brian Elliott with 19.8 on the clock.
The multi-point nights will help pad the stat sheet for a lot of guys in this game, and that means confidence, and confidence going forward for John Cooper's guys. He's got to be feeling good for them, knowing that guys want to see themselves rewarded. They want to see their name on the score sheet. And look at a guy like Ryan McDonough, with a 3-point night as well. He doesn't get the points as often as Victor Hedman does, and good on Ryan, and Corey Perry for 3-point nights as well.
This one rolls in towards the net, poked away by Elliott. Into the corner, time ticks away. Down the ice it goes, and what a way to celebrate the 1,000th victory in franchise history with a 7-1 victory, a beatdown in Philadelphia tonight. Brian Elliott gets the win. He improves his record, gets his 3rd win of the season, improving to 3-1-1. And everybody gets in on the score sheet, including Boris Kachuk with his first NHL goal. 7-1 is the final. A reminder to stick around for Lightning Live postgame, which is brought to you by Advent Health. That's coming up right after the break with Paul Kennedy and Adam Hall. On behalf of my partner, Brian Engblom, this is Dave Rayner saying thanks for watching. We'll talk to you Tuesday from Montreal.